Welcome to Lost Girl Therapy. Let's talk about anhedonia. So, I just got off a phone call with someone who pointed out to me that I am actually in the stages of it. And even as a trained therapist, this is very easy to miss. So, anhedonia is this space above depression, below a baseline, like solid mental health space. It is a space that is kind of like a void. It's a void of emotion, a void of feeling. It's a space of not feeling anything. And I missed the markers for it. I've actually experienced this before, but I have missed the markers for it. So let's talk about the signs. Number one, it's a sensation of being unable to feel things. You kind of say, like, I just can't feel. It is the best way that I can describe it when I had this a few years ago and it was like very bad. It was the space of like looking at my like bubbly, happy newborn nephew smiling at me and me not feeling joy. Me not being able to be like, oh my God, I'm effusive about this. More that space of like, there's nothing here. One of the other hallmarks of it is kind of this space of like hopelessness, but it's not suicidal ideation and it's not suicidality. It's just kind of this space of like, this is all there is. Okay, I guess. It's just a lack. Now, the behind the scenes of anhedonia is when the body has difficulty producing adrenaline. So when the body cannot produce adrenaline, we don't have that like engine revving sensation of being able to help all the other hormones like dopamine or cortisol or anything else rise to a level that is substantial or emotive in a manner that is aligned with like a healthy mental state. Because the adrenaline is dropping, we just start to feel less. This can mean I feel less in my physical body. This can mean I feel less emotionally. This can also mean I feel less around me when I'm around people. Anhedonia can also come on from a space of aloneness. Not necessarily loneliness. It can also mean loneliness, but aloneness. So lack of physical touch is a huge thing that can contribute to anhedonia. If you're not receiving like hugs, care, affection, attention, just like closeness, the body basically like withdraws on itself. It kind of just like goes inward, and we learn how to live in the space of without. Over time, the longer that you're in that space, what begins to happen is because the body's not producing enough adrenaline and because we've closed off ourselves so much, we then start to trend towards wanting to feel something again and not in a positive manner. So remember that anhedonia hovers between baseline and depression. Here, when we're in this like space of I don't feel anything, we kind of take a nosedive. Now, if you are somebody who does not struggle with depression, keep an eye out for the signs of anhedonia, especially if you begin to see hallmarks of thought processes that kind of like draw your attention and not in a positive way. I have worked with many people who have had anhedonia. I myself have had it. One of the ways that I've demonstrated it has been, and again, it's not suicidal ideation and it's not suicidality. It's that space of saying, I want to feel something and I wonder what that would feel like. So the example I will give you is like walking into your kitchen and going to the knife drawer and then being like, I wonder what that would feel like. You don't have an intention of harming yourself, but it is the body's way of saying, I want to feel something. That is one of those key signs that say, okay, hold on here. We're in a space of the void and we need to get ourselves back out of it. So if you begin to see kind of those sensations of like, I kind of sort of want to inflict pain on myself just to see what it would feel like, and you don't have a history of suicidality or suicidal ideation or depression, perhaps look into anhedonia. And the way that you actually get out of it is you have to boost your body's adrenaline. What I did after like researching this and being like, what the hell is going on? This is years ago. This phase, I'm not at that stage at all. Now I'm just in that space of withdrawal. So I already know how to handle it and what to do. What you do is you actually introduce a adrenaline spike to your day once an hour, every hour until you're out of it. So that looks like 10 jumping jacks, sprints, anything to get your heart rate up. When your heart rate is elevated, you are then going to feel kind of, it's not euphoria, but you're going to feel like lighter and happier for a few moments or a few minutes. And then you're going to notice as the hour goes on, you're coming back down. That is really important to notice because the next hour you have to find the motivation to come back up and repeat the process For me, it took about 2 to 3 days of doing jumping jacks once an hour, every hour, the last time I went through this. And by the third day, I was like, oh, okay, we're back. My adrenaline is back up. The engine has restarted. We're good to go. Anhedonia is something that is very easily missed. And if you are somebody who tends to if you tend to feel alone, if you tend to isolate, if you tend to feel like that withdrawal and kind of just that, like, it's not lack of a will to live, it's just a void of sensation, try introducing a adrenaline spike to your day every hour on the hour from morning until night, and you might notice a change. I have found it to be very helpful, and to be honest, I didn't catch the symptoms of it this time around. It wasn't until after I just had this conversation where I was like, okay, hang on. Void of feeling, withdrawal, aloneness, and feeling like I can't actually feel myself. All of those are hallmarks of it. I'm very lucky that I have not entered that next space of like, I wonder what pain would feel like, because I already know what to do to get out of it.